Old Grandpa here. I did some tires and wheels for my Jeep again. I got a second set of wheels, put it that way. It's the ones that came on the Jeep, but they were chrome wheels and they're all rusty and yucky. So anyway, the other wheels I have actually say Jeep on them. They're aluminum alloy wheels, and I got nice street tires on them. They're actually all-season tires. But I wanted a set of tires that I could use on the trails, out in the mud and the dirt and those kind of things. So anyway, I take the old wheels and this video might be a little bit long, I hope not. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to break the seal on the tire to get it off the rim. Then I'm going to dismount it from the rim, and then I'm going to sandblast the wheel. And I'm not going to show you this because I already did it and stuff, but I sanded down the wheels after I sandblasted them. I just run over them with a sander with a 220. I didn't do anything fancy with it. And but anyway, after I had them all cleaned up and sanded down, I took some Rustoleum, and the Rustoleum was in a can. I got a quart of it, and I mixed it with a little bit of mineral spirits, and then I put it in my sprayer. And I've got a nice sprayer and stuff that I actually used to spray the Jeep with the color. And but I sprayed it with the Rustoleum, the wheels, and they come out looking gorgeous. They look like they're powder coated. And I set them out in the sun, let them bake for a couple of days, and then my new tires came. My mud tires did, and then I mounted those. And so I have a part of the videos getting those tires on the rims and putting air into them. And then I have a bubble balancer that I balanced them with. So anyway, I'm going to show all that. I'm going to have hopefully chapters down below, and we'll see how that works out and stuff, and I hope it works. And so you can just fast forward to the particular part that you're interested in seeing. And I'll give credit where credit is due. I did go out on YouTube and I searched some of these things to see if there was better ideas than my idea. And some things are just the way I think that you do it. Everybody does it the same, but maybe somebody does it a little bit differently and stuff. So anyway, so I tried to re-engineer some things and show you the easiest way to do things. And so anyway, I hope this helps. And if you're changing your tires and balancing them. Oh, by the way, when I balanced them out, I've actually took my Jeep out. I've done 60 miles an hour, no vibration, no pulling, no nothing. And so the balancing works perfectly. So anyway, we'll continue on with the video now. I'm no tire changing expert, so I'm kind of learning, and as I learn I try to relay that information to others and stuff, so I can learn from my mistakes and maybe learn from what I might be doing right. Anyway, this is how I take a tire off of a rim, and it's not easy. It's manual, and I use tire irons. Got the tire irons on Amazon. They were fairly cheap. I'll put a link down below for them. Anyway, here we go. On your rim, you'll notice that there's a low spot. This side here has a high spot. This is the low spot right here. This is a high spot all the way back there. And this is on the back side. It's usually on the back side. On the front side, this is the low spot that's inside the tire. This is the high spot. It's a lot less. So I pulled the tire off from this side. That's right or wrong, I don't know. It's just the way I do it. But anyway, the trick to it is is they have the tire down here on the low side, on one side, as you pull the tire out on the other side. So this is how I do it. Push down on one side here a little bit with my knees. I get my tire iron down in there. I can hold that lip and I pull it out. Then I grab the next spot and pull that out. And you got 2 spots out. Got 3 tire irons. You got 3 of them out now. Okay. Tire irons came loose. Just keep working your way around. All right. This side is off now. Looks like this side here kind of almost re-beaded itself. There we go. All right. So you can see here, this is the low place where you want the rim of the tire into this low area. This is the high area. You see how it looks in there? Low. So you want the tire rim in this low area while you're trying to take it out. I found it's easier, rather than fighting this side here, I start on this side here. I use the flat one, put it in there, and see, you get it out like that. Your rim is down inside that rim. Then you just work your way around. This side here is the hard side though, generally. And that's how I do it. As I said, it's not easy, but it's doable, and you can do it at home with nothing more than just some regular tire irons. They're 16-inch. They don't even have a name on them. Just 16-inch. There you go. You know, all my sand is dried up. I got it in buckets. I've got the wheels out here. I got them sitting on a little rubber mat, and hopefully that'll catch some of the sand so I can reuse it again. This will be the second time I'm using this sand, and it's pretty good. I got a little wet sand blaster, and it works great for projects like this, cleaning up these wheels. I plan on cleaning them up and painting them black, and the painting process is going to be something new too. I'm going to try painting them with Rustoleum, but dilute it down a little bit, thin it out, and spray it, and see how it comes out being sprayed. And we'll see how that works. But anyway, here I am going to sandblast them now with my wet sandblaster. One thing I want to mention, do not do this without eye protection. Absolutely use eye protection. It's essential. The little pieces of sand go flying everywhere, and you don't want to get it in your eyes or even on your glasses and stuff, you know, so protect yourself. Do that at least. This is what you get with the sandblaster, this part right here. You got the nozzle and you got the part that goes down in your bucket. Stick that in the bucket. You take this, pull your tip out, put that in it. It's that simple. Then you can start sandblasting. got done sandblasting or wet sandblasting the wheels. I think I got as much sand on me as I did on them. But anyway, they came out cleaner. I came out dirtier. Anyway, they look pretty good considering how much rust was on them and stuff. And I think they're good enough now. I'm going to paint them, and then I'm going to mount some new tires on them, some mud tires and stuff. So when I go up in the hills and stuff, I want to take the Jeep out on the trails and that kind of thing. So anyway, I'll take some pictures of them here so you can kind of see what they look like. Well, Grandpa out here going to paint my wheels today. Yesterday I demounted them, took the tires off, and cleaned them up. I sandblasted them, and then I sanded them after that. They used to be chrome wheels, but they're all rusty and stuff, you know, and so I'm going to paint them black. Anyway, never done this here before. I'm going to use Rustoleum. And I looked at the can. It says I can dilute it down a little bit with some mineral spirits. So I did that. I did a 9-to-1. 9 parts paint, 1 part mineral spirits. I mixed it in my little can right here and stuff. You can see it has the lines on it and stuff that make it easy to do that. Anyway, we're going to give it a shot and see how it works here and stuff. So anyway, I won't bore you with all the spraying and stuff, but I'll kind of show you a little bit. This is my gun that I bought from Amazon. It was about $100. I got a little water filter on it right there. Air compressors over here, and I keep it fairly close with one stretch of hose in between. So hopefully I'll maintain pretty good pressure. You see my Jeep over there. It used to be black. I painted that a couple weeks ago. It came out pretty good. I mean, for a backyard paint job by a non-professional, it looks pretty darn good. Anyway, here we go. We'll give it a shot. Well, Grandpa here again. My new tires came. Now I'm going to put them on the rims. Takes kind of a couple steps to get them on the rims and stuff. I soap them up really good. I put some soap and water, and it has a lot of soap in it, real high concentration of soap. And I put it around the rim of the tire, and then I push it onto the rim, and then I use my tire irons to get the second half on there. And then after I get it on the rim, I have to try to seat one of the sides of the tire on the rim and stuff so I can put air in it. And hopefully the air will pump it up and stuff and seal the other side, and you'll hear it pop out and stuff. So anyway, this is how I do it, and hopefully it'll work for you about as same as it works for me if it's pretty easy. If it's not pretty easy, hope it works better for you. So anyway, this is how I do it. I just kind of soap it up and I put it on there and I step on it, and I get the first side in there. Then I use the tire irons on the second side. It's just that easy. This is a heavy duty mud tread tire. I think with a softer highway tread tire, it might be a little easier. But anyway, it's on there, and now we'll put some air in it. Okay, show you something on this wheel. This is the side that has the valve stem goes right in here. And so anyway, probably should have put the valve stem in first, but it really doesn't matter too much before I put the tire on. But anyway, before I air it up, I have to do the valve stem. But anyway, valve stem is on this side here. If you look at the wheel, you've got a real small lip on this side, and you've got a great big lip on this side. This is the low area, all right? This is where the tire is sitting at right now. What I want to do is try to push the tire up onto this rim that has the valve stem on it. And then that way I can put air in through the valve stem, and hopefully I can push the tire over against this side right here. And once it hits this side here, the air will fill it up and it will push it all the way over across onto this side just with air pressure. And that's about the only way you can really do it. If you push this side on first, then you're trying to push it up against where the valve stem is at, and it doesn't work very good that way. And so what I did is I made a board. I put the wheels down on a board here, and I drew around it, and I made the hole about a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch larger than the wheel, so that the wheel can kind of go down through. And when it does that, it will push the tire. The tire will be sitting out here, and it'll push the tire up onto the rim. And with my body weight and stuff, hopefully I can do that. And I have to mix up some more soap and water because I spilt my little bucket. And so anyway, but I'll lube it up good first and then push that on there after I put the valve stem in. Don't forget the valve stem. Valve stem. Never forget the valve stem. Kind of hard to forget it because you can't really air up the tire without it. Hold it with one finger so you don't drop it down the side. Screw on your valve stem tool. And get it started. There it goes. Use a piece of cardboard over top of your wheel to not screw up your paint job, and just pull it up. And it's that easy. Comes right into place. Put this someplace where you can find it for the next wheel. Lots of soap. And a towel to dry your hand off with. Don't lose your balance. Lots of soap back on this side, on the wheel and on the tire. You want to slide on it really good. Again, towel, dry your hand off. And then put air to it. Just like that. I sealed it up, pushed it in to seal up that edge right there, and the air pressure will push it out all the way. These tires say right on it not to exceed 40 psi while trying to bead it, and so that's what we're trying to do. So there it goes. You can see it still hasn't beaded on this side, so we got a little ways yet to go. What I like to do, well, we'll use this here so it beads. Here it comes. After it beads, I check the air pressure. Sometimes it goes over. Actually, we're a little bit over. We're about 36 psi. I want these to be around 30. Got a little bit of air out. Oh, that's letting out. I can clean it up a little bit. Get some of the soap off of it. Off of this side anyway. All right, we're sitting right at 30 psi. That's where I want to be. This one's pretty much done. I'll wipe off this side here. Big piece of advice, use more soap than what you think you might need. They don't bead very easy, and you don't want to put too much pressure in. These tires say right on them not to exceed 40 psi when you're beading them. I don't think I've done that. Once it beaded, it had about 36 in it. And but anyway, put a lot of soap on there, and it shouldn't be too bad. But remember to try to seat the side that has the valve stem on it first, and then you should just be able to push on the wheel a little bit from the bottom side and get that other side far enough up so that the air doesn't leak out faster than you're putting it in, and it should bead right up then. Anyway, hope this was helpful. Well, now comes the balancing part. This takes a little bit longer, I think. You have to have good patience with it. You have to have a good balancer. I bought a balancer on Amazon, and if you look at everybody's opinion of them, that's all about the same. There's too much friction. It's a little pin that goes up into a little hole, and it'll rock back and forth a couple times, and it'll stop. And it'll stop not even level. So it doesn't balance very well at all. I went through a few different people's ideas, and I found one that I thought was really good. And that guy put a ball bearing, an 1.5 inch ball bearing, up inside this part here. It's the top of it, and anyway, the ball bearing just fits right back down in there. And once you get it in there, it's in there. I can't get it back out. Anyway, otherwise I'd show you kind of the whole thing. But he made a rod that went from the base up to the ball bearing, and the rod had a flat spot on top, and that ball bearing is round, and it would sit on that flat top. Another guy down in the comments, he mentioned about using a socket on top of the rod that already comes with it and stuff, you know, and I thought, well, that might be a whole lot easier than doing that and stuff. So I put a socket on there, and it is a, if I can see the size, 7/8 socket. It fits right on there. And on the end of the socket, instead of having the end like that, you know, where the thing goes in, he suggested putting a magnet on it, a rare earth magnet, and it fits right on top of it, just perfect. It's the exact same diameter around. So therefore you have your flat rod, or your rod with a flat top on it that the ball bearing can sit on, and it rocks back and forth really good. So this is what I'm using. Let me demonstrate. When I put this top on here, you see how that rocks back and forth. It has really good characteristics to it and stuff. And then you can adjust it with it. Got 3 little screws up on top up here. You can adjust it to get that bubble right in the middle of the round dot and stuff. So anyway, you put your wheel up on it, and I'll do it here for you. Put your wheel up on it and kind of get it centered, and you should be able to get it centered pretty well. I found you have to be careful not to knock it off of the ball bearing off of the flat rod coming out in the middle there and stuff, you know, and if you do that, then you're not going to get a balance. So anyway, be careful putting the wheel and tire up on there. They're heavy and stuff, and you got to get them centered just right. You don't want to scoot it around, otherwise it's not going to work right. So anyway, here I'll show you how I do a thing. Oh, the other thing is too, the wheel weights I use. I got these KC Auto premium weight technology adhesive steel wheel weights, and anyway, I'll put a link down on the comments down below if you click on more information down there. I'll have a link to these here, but they're pretty good. They just come with a whole bunch of little weights on there, and you can sit the whole thing on there if you're quite a bit out of weight, and it has the adhesive back, and you can peel that off and stick it on your wheels and stuff, and it sticks on really, really good. Once you put it on there, you pretty much have to ruin the tape to get them off and stuff. So once they're on there, you don't have to worry about them falling off. And I put them on the inside of the wheel just for looks and stuff, and I also try to get it more towards the center of the wheel and stuff, because I figure, well, you don't want it on one outside or the other outside. More towards the center I think is better. But anyway, I balanced all the other wheels that are on the Jeep right now. These are the mud treads that I'm going to put on it and stuff for up in the hills. And the other ones, I can go down the road at 50 miles an hour and absolutely no vibration, no bounce, no nothing. So this works. Anyway, here I'll show you how to do it now. Not sure if you see it or not, but that little bubble right there, you want to have that little dot right in the middle of that little black circle. And anyway, as you can see, I'll bump it here a little bit. You can see how it goes off and stuff. So anyway, if it's calibrated correctly, you can adjust these 3 little screws around here and get that right in the middle. You can see how it's leaning down on this side here. So I take a stick of these things here, and I'll set them on the high side. Oop, oop. I want them to bring that high side down and let it settle out. You can touch it on the side here a little bit to kind of keep it from rocking quite so much. And it's still just a little bit high over there. I'm going to take, I'll take 3 more of these. Put them right there. That looks absolutely perfect. So, what I do, I have a little piece of soapstone. I come over here and figure out about where the middle of this is at, and I go underneath, figure right about here. And I go underneath and I make me a little white mark down here. That way, when I go to add weights onto it, I know exactly where to put them. Pull these off. Take that off. Oh. Not sure if you can see this or not, but pull that off of there. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I want to do is where my little white mark is, I want to have 5 on one side and 5 on the other side. Stick those on there. Peel this one off. Stick these on this side. Anyway, it will look about like that when you're done. And then I stick it back on here. Real careful. Again. You know, the bubble's staying inside the circle. I'm calling that good enough.